Hello and welcome to another dressing room. Donncha O'Callaghan, it's good to have you, mate. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this, Tommy. I'm giddy. I haven't chatted to a lot of people today, so I'm looking forward to our chat. You like
Me, on the other hand.
you, on the other hand, have been entertaining the nation, driving up and down from Belfast, and you had a little cat nap, did you,
I
Tommy?
did.
Have a little rest.
Very
Oh,
important. I'm a big fan of a cat nap.
yeah,
Big
yeah, it
fan of a
is.
cat nap, yeah.
Do you know
I'm
what? Do you
getting
know the
good at
way?
it.
Do you know on the Friday I do shitty stories of just nonsense? I'm gonna
Yeah.
look into napping though for the next few weeks.
As opposed to going looking for the shitty stories.
No, as the shitty stories,
Oh,
the
right.
benefit of the nap.
Oh, like you don't need to go look for them too far. I mean, it's well known. A nap is brilliant for people.
But
Like, in
hold on,
terms
yeah,
of, like, resetting the batteries, recharge, and even just like, listen, in the world now, it's all go, 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 go. Like, if you can just close the eyes, close your brain off for 20 minutes, half an hour,
i-
40
it's like
minutes, great.
meditation. Everyone's looking for meditation. Just go to fucking bed.
Oh,
Sorry.
exact. Do you go, if you're going for a nap now, you lie up on the sofa? Do
No,
you
no,
do
get me to the
naps?
cot. Get me to the cot. I used to nap all the time. One with rugby, like
Yeah.
it was vital, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then when I was doing breakfast, like you, I used to get in for the nap, but I never had the unbelievable discipline. I heard that Ian Dempsey has like a routine of his nap.
Does
And
he?
yeah, and if he can't fall asleep, he just closes the eyes, like you said, he shuts down for
Yeah.
whatever length of time it is.
I'm not unbelievably disciplined with it in the fact that I have to sleep at the exact same time the whole time,
Yeah.
but I do try to get it in as much as I can. And like, even
Well,
just 40 minutes, close your eyes. You might only sleep for 5 minutes, but you just,
yeah,
it's like the jump leads on you. Honestly, it's
of course.
great.
But like you're early a start, Tommy. You're up at nearly three, half three, are you? You know what I
Four,
mean?
yeah.
Like that is cruel on the body. I remember we used to, because we were doing it on breakfast, but we'd a little rule or we'd tip each other off of thinking of going for like a danger nap. And that was if you're napping after 3 o'clock, like that could lead to kind of waking at 5 if you don't get it all over it. And even if it's 20, 30 minutes, it's too late, isn't it? You've missed
Big
the
time.
window, I think, if you go beyond 3.
And it's hard. You can't go to bed that
That's what
night,
I'm
or
on
can't
about.
go to
Yeah.
sleep. Like, we
Yeah.
had the director on the show this morning said to me she had a nap for 6 hours.
6 hours. That's
She said, I went home and I had a nap, and I was like, "Oh, well done. How long you think like?" She goes, 6 hours. I
that's
said, "That's
fucking
not a
brilliant.
nap. A nap. That's a proper, like, did you even get up from that?"
That,
But like,
that
there's
that's
some
a
ones,
proper sleep.
like, there's some young ones on our team, like, that,
Yeah.
they might be, they're up from 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning as well. They're going through the notes, and they're there, like, kind of putting all
Mm,
the text messages and putting
yeah.
the show together pretty much. But
Yeah.
I talk to them, like, they don't have kids, they don't have any, they
Yeah.
don't have really that much
Yeah.
that's too
Yeah.
pressing to do. So they just,
100%.
yeah, they're home by 1 o'clock, and they're like, "Yeah, I decided to just stick on Cash in the Attic and hop into our, like, Stepford Wives or something, right?" And they stick that on, and then they said, "Yeah, I woke up at 5 o'clock and then went downstairs, had something to eat, and went back to bed and went back to sleep until the following morning." I'm like,
Oh,
"That's like 14 hours sleep.
yeah. Yeah.
How did you get away with that?" But yeah, good luck to them. Gee, I
Just
like
on
it.
that,
It's so
just
good.
on that, when I started first with kind of professionalism, my brother was a plasterer, Emmett, and one day he got rained off, like he was outside, and the weather was so bad they rained it off. But we used to train out on what was the CIT then for kind of weights and speed and different things. So I would jump back in between sessions and go
Yeah.
home for a little bit. Go on, Jay.
Jason's having some technical difficulties this afternoon.
Jay,
At
come
least
in here for the chat about napping. Are you just after waking
I
up?
think he's after waking up, having the panic.
Yeah, but sorry, Emma came home one day and like he went down the room there. He was like, "What the fuck are you at, man?" And I was like, honestly, because I came back straight away with it. I was like, "I'm fucking working here." And
Yeah,
he was like, "What?" I was there
I know.
genuinely resting up to make sure I'm ready to go at 3 o'clock for the session.
Should we talk about coming back from injury? Because I know whenever I was injured, you would do like some of the training that you would do, the fitness and stuff, particularly when you're coming back from fitness or when you're coming back from injury.
Yeah.
The it's like a pre-season. What I always found whenever I was playing rugby, you're at this top level, right? If you're playing Six Nations, you're as fit and as ready to go as ever, right? Then all of a sudden, if you get injured, like a nasty injury, you're right back. Like your body just
Yeah.
falls apart. I mean, it's
Yeah.
unbelievably how quick that fitness goes away. And you could be out for 2 months, you could be out for 4 months, you could be out for 9 months. But see coming back from the kind of being out for 4 months and then having to get yourself back up to that fitness level
Yeah.
again. Oh my God, the hell. But that was a time when I used to love a nap. Like you'd
Yeah.
be busting yourself all, and people can think, he's injured, sure, he mustn't be doing anything all the time. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, you're nearly training harder when you're
100% that.
injured than when you're
I've
not. And
I've
then I
told you
like,
that.
go on.
I'm sorry. I told you that before about Doug Howlett. Like we used to think, I know this is an awful thing to say, but the injured players, they need to kind of be bust their balls, make them work harder than everyone else because no one will want to be injured. And I remember Doug Howlett got injured with his Achilles, and I remember he was in the senior players group, and he was there, lads. Do you genuinely think anyone there wants to be there in terms of like everyone wants to help out? And
Yeah.
he became pivotal in terms of the injured players became nearly like scouts. They'd go forward 2 weeks and look at opposition, and they became really helpful. And then we started getting this boy in that, you know what I mean? You're not over there. It was like nearly like, oh, they're injured. So come off. You know what I mean? Whereas he brought it back that everyone's vital within the squad because you feel so lonely, man, when you're out, don't you?
It's so lonely. You get into such a tight bond with the other lads who are out injured at
Yeah.
the time, and you always find there's always somebody worse than you. There's always someone who's
Yeah.
done an ACL, or there's somebody who's fucking really crocked on the crutches. But you build this like a squad like that every morning while everybody else is out training and doing their meetings and going off and going for matches. You're stuck at home, like so. The lads are heading off to European Cup match against Toulouse and they're all full of it, all excited. And then, like the Friday morning, we're all back in the gym, back doing our
Yeah.
rehab, back doing our physio. But you get such a bond. But then, like I remember doing Nick Williams and or
Oh,
Marcel Coetzee
oh
at
man.
one stage. Like we were both out with knee injuries for ages. We were both trained together. But then you see them return to play earlier than you, and it breaks your heart,
Yeah,
because
yeah. It's
you've got
like
you've such a bond, and you're like,
they're
and
like,
he's like,
"Bye, Tommy,"
yeah. He's like, "I'm
and
starting to
everyone's
run
so
today." And you're
accepting.
like, "You're not. You're running. Oh shit. Okay." And like they go off and do it, and you see them come back in absolutely punctured. And then for the next couple of weeks, they're return to play and trying to build themselves back up. And you're just back at square one. Oh man, it's heartbreaking. But
Yeah,
you're
that
right.
is
You're right what you're saying though, in terms of the loneliness and actually how important it is and how nice it is almost to kind of, as a coach, to bring you back in and kind of go, listen, will you do the
yeah.
prep work for Leinster this weekend and maybe take a video analysis session with the whole team and kind of point out a few areas of weakness that you can
But
really, that they can attack.
in typical Doug Howlett being really smart, a few of the injured players would actually go over, like, I'm not just saying it, but they would like. I remember they'd come back and they'd scouted on wasps, and they were like, "We don't know is this a line-out call, but we heard this on a bailout on the side of the pitch during one of the warm-ups." And I think it was a stupid word like sandwich or something like that. So if the, you know what I mean? You know that ball to the prop when everything's it's just like
Yeah.
sandwich, throw it there,
Oh,
and
is
it
that what
came
that
off.
is at the front?
Yeah, well, it was for them, and that's
Okay.
like I remember hearing it.
So
They
what? Do you
spiked
just
me
shout
to it.
sandwich?
Yeah,
Sandwich!
exactly. Get rid of it,
What?
you know.
The props are all thinking food. Oh,
Yeah,
happy
yeah.
days.
How do you get to? How do you
Chicken
get
and
a prop
stuffing,
to
please. Chicken and
react?
stuffing.
But that's the. I think you're right. That initial point of, because as well, Um, yeah, like that group nearly when I remember I did my MCL and like it was like jumping with the injured group there for a while and you walk in the door and they're all nearly hopeful. It's like, have we got someone with us for it's like the minions. They're like, oh
Somebody.
yes, another, and you were like, it's MCL, I'll be kind of maybe 2-3 weeks, and they're like, oh fuck off. You know what I mean? You're
I
not in
know.
with us. You know what I mean? You're just filling the day.
Well, it just, yeah, I just, Yeah, like I love that actually, just being brought along with the squad. Just when you're out of it, you just feel so far
Yeah.
distance and so far removed. Did you like? Did you ever spend much time? We out
No,
injured for any long periods? No,
no, it wasn't.
I was
And
out for
I'm looking
11
for.
months. 11 months
Yeah,
with my PCL one time. That I got this real bad bone bruise and I just couldn't get rid of it.
yeah.
But I remember the time I did my Oh, literally, I did my AC. I did, or not my AC, my Achilles. No, fuck's sake, what's my Achilles?
Yeah,
Still,
keep going through them. You're like
speaking of
Ruby Walsh here.
speaking of naps, wake up. No, listen, my hamstring. Sorry, my
Yeah.
hamstring come off the bone. My IT band, my LCL, and I think was maybe my MCL as well. Mainly, I literally did everything on the knee,
Holy sh
bar the
Can
ACL. It's wild.
can I ask you, because I won't remember the injuries, but take us through the game. When did that one happen?
So we were playing European Cup against Northampton, and we'd beaten Northampton. Oh geez. So this is kind of a big period. This was the year of the Lions in Australia. So
Okay.
that season, when was
13.
that? 2013. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we just
Wow.
beaten Northampton away from home in Franklin's Gardens. Big win for us. We got a bonus point win over there. Then of course they came back to Ravenhill. It was huge, great atmosphere back. The place was booming back then. Anyway, Northampton put it right back up to us, but we were in the closing minutes of the game. I think we were 1 or 2 points behind, and Paul Marshall made a break down the blind side, and I was with him. And
Wow.
he was going to chip it, and then he decided then to just pass it over to me. And the scrum half was tracking back with me and just did this last minute tap tackle, but caught me perfect, right? So caught me with the tap tackle. My leg hit the other one. I went up into the air, and like I'm at full speed at this
Yeah.
stage, so
Wow.
up into the air, and then just landed, jammed my knee onto the ground, and you can see a picture of my knee bending the wrong direction. Oh,
Oh,
it's
wow.
oh man,
Kind of nearly hyperextending, if you know
oh, it
what I mean,
gives me the
going.
yeah, yeah, it gives me
Wow.
the heebie-jeebies. So up into the air, knee landed, boom, hyperextended it, and just felt pop, 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 like the whole thing just
So,
go.
go through again there where what went? What
So your
hamstring goes.
lateral ligament on the outside. I
Yeah.
think my inside MCL went as well. My but then you have your IT band, so it
Yeah.
ripped
Oh,
off.
nasty one, that
That
fella.
was the sore. That was where the pain was.
That
And then the
is.
hamstring. So the hamstring then came off the bone as well. So the one, remember,
Oh,
like Paulie did the hamstring off the bone,
yeah,
Keane,
yeah.
which is a real bad one for a winger to have, because like your
Top
hamstring,
end speed.
that's where the speed comes from. So like,
Yeah.
and the hamstring as well, when that comes off the bone, it doesn't, like, see the way the ligaments would stay there, they'd like stay in the inside. Hamstring,
It
like, because
shoots up.
it's so wound up, it like yeah,
Yeah.
spirals up, so it goes like right up into your arse. Or
Oh,
not that you feel
fuck.
that, but like whenever they're trying to reattach
Tommy
it.
going around with one giant arse cheek.
But like
Oh.
whenever they're actually, so the knee surgeon, when he was having to reattach all of it, oh my god, the pain with this was so bad. That he was having to like get the LCL right on the outside of the knee, put that, then he put the IT band on top of it, and then he'd unravel the hamstring, pull it down, stretch it, and then put it on top. Like the three of them pretty much on top of each other, and then put a screw into it
Oh.
to screw it all into your knee.
But Tommy, in a mad way, in your position, that could have been a career-ending injury,
Big
if you
time.
know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, big
Like,
time. But
I know
no,
it
it
was
was
unfortunate,
dangerous.
and at that moment at the World Cup, man, seeing you come off on that little kind of motorized stretcher, when you just start fucking laughing, you know what I mean.
Well,
I
that
know
was
that's
so that was actually right. So that's different, right? So that the one against Northampton was my right knee, right? Then fast forward a couple of years to the World Cup 2015, then was that one
yeah,
in Cardiff. So that one was, I actually was coming a quarter final against Argentina, coming round the corner. So all the team went one way and I decided to go the other way. I'm thinking
always
like
ahead of the game.
just trying
You
to like
did love that now, an untidy winger.
well, listen, that was where I made, that was my bread and butter, man. That's where I
Not
made
wrong.
my name. But so sometimes I'd sweep the opposite direction just to see if there's space, and if there was space, I'd obviously be calling it. But it's kind
Yeah.
of a last minute thing.
Yeah.
So I came back around the corner, and I kind of spotted that there was no space, so I slowed down. But I think it was Murr, whoever it was, pass it to me, and I was like, oh
Oh,
fuck. on my
There's
own
nothing
here.
worse than getting it on your heels.
And you're slow, I wasn't fast, but
Yeah.
what do you call that Argentinian second row, the filthy bastard?
Lobby.
He's got what? No, I don't know if it's may. Anyway, listen, whoever he
They're
was,
all fucking
yeah,
nuts.
he
Have your
fucking
pick.
dove into my knee, literally dove
Oh, yeah, I
straight
remember it.
into
I
it,
remember it.
elbow right into my knee, and then that was another one over the top of it, same knee, and
So,
that
sorry,
was
a foot stays in the ground, you
yeah.
go forward,
So
knee goes back,
yeah, so his
hyperextended
knee
again.
is literally my foot is in front of his shoulder. His shoulder's in my knee, and then the rest of my body goes over the top of it.
Wow.
So anyway, that was so that was curtains on that one. We were
Yeah.
obviously losing the quarterfinal at that stage, and then we were really fucked. But the so,
If his
Mille-
things weren't bad enough, the only one that can finish is leaving. At the back of the...
so Millennium Stadium on the trolley, and then it was it's three lads who kind of I half knew from my Ospreys time, and then Aina Falvey I think was the doctor as well.
Oh,
So obviously
man.
you're into the dressing room, and they take you into this physio room. They're looking at your knee, and they could do scans and all sorts, and they're like, "Listen, you're pretty bollocks here." And then it was, I think, probably 2 years later, Ireland against Wales, Six Nations. I was, it was like the 79th minute. So at this stage, I was on the bench for Ireland. Shaggy, I mean, I did everything to get myself back fit for this
Yeah.
Irish team. I really, really busted my ass to try and get myself back fit. I was playing okay with Ulster. I thought I was playing quite well, but do you know, with experience, I might not have had to be the fastest winger like Zebo when these guys
No.
were there who were unbelievably fast, but
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Joe Schmidt in particular, if you could tick the boxes and do the detail right, he would pick you. Do you know what I mean? So you didn't have to be this out and out scoring tries or creating breaks. If you were so diligent, so professional, he would really rate that. So that's what I.
Absolutely. And sorry, not to be harsh, Tommy, but for your position, you never have a winger on the bench. You know what I mean? They're fucking useless
Mm,
to have on a bench.
totally.
Whereas, to have you is different. Like, he probably knew I can put Tommy into centre if I was badly, so full back. In fact,
Yeah.
he'd do a job in the row if you needed him.
Well, this is it. But obviously, so I just knew to get any way I get into this Irish team, I just have to be able to tick the boxes, do everything right, be there doing your video analysis every time you walked into the room, be there asking the right questions in the meeting. It's the sort of stuff that Joe just hoovered up, and you can
Yeah.
see certain players are brilliant at it, and that's
Mm.
why they played so many times for Joe. That they might not be world class athletes or world class players that would get into the All Blacks, but unbelievable professionals.
'Cause
So I got
funny,
myself into that team.
funny. Sorry, we go back to it. But funny you say that because that's what Peter O'Mahony said to me about Joe Smith. He was there. I know an awful lot of people bitch and whinge about, but he was there. If you done your work, you
Mhm.
know what I mean. You got rewarded. Like
Yeah.
everyone that was kind of whining was probably the ones that weren't as diligent as you probably realized. You know what I mean. You have to play ball. This guy is teaching it a different way, and I have to get all over it.
Big time. But the questions, like the frustrations with certain people would have on that is that is rugby a team for box ticking? Do you know what I mean? Is rugby a team of just not making mistakes and doing everything perfectly right? Or is a rugby team about where's the X factor? Where's the
Yeah.
team? Where are you going to create? So
Both.
Ireland at that stage when we were at our best made less mistakes than the opposition, gave away way fewer penalties, and eventually almost kind of bored a team into submission, like the
Yeah.
box kicks were perfect on the money. We knew exactly I was going up for it. You had two players either side. It wasn't just one person tracking in behind. It was two people either side so that they were there, and one would go in front so that if the ball went that way, and one would jump in to the side this way. So I would know where I'm trying to rebound the ball back to. Like, the detail was phenomenal. But at the same time, I hated it because it
Yeah,
was,
yeah, yeah, but you knew what it was the right thing to do to get in the game. But it's a funny thing because right now I feel that we are terribly indisciplined. It's one of the
yeah.
biggest Irish problems coming into it. But I go back to Jim Williams with me, you know what I mean? He was there like, you can't be good because so many parts of your week are so weak. You know what I mean?
hmm
So how do you expect to get up there when Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are like that? You know what I mean? He was kind of
Yeah.
pushing me that you need to be you need a more disciplined, diligent lifestyle. And I think that's what Joe had. And a byproduct of it was
Yeah.
fucking incredible discipline on the pitch, because you were disciplined in everything you did throughout the week. You just learned it. It's one of my greatest worries for us coming into the Six Nations, that I think it's something we need. I'm not saying about that attention to detail, but just more disciplined structure is badly needed around those lads,
Yeah.
because we're racking up
We're
pens,
giving
Tom.
away so many penalties.
Yeah,
All the provinces were. You
yeah,
know, like
yeah,
it is a huge problem. Even through the autumn internationals, our penalty count is
yeah.
high.
Sorry,
Like,
I've gone off it, but that was a deja vu moment, wasn't it? You go back to Cardiff
oh,
and
so yes, so against Cardiff, fuck's sake, what match? Oh yes, it was the Irish match against Wales. I literally, so I was there pissed off because I was like,
yeah,
fuck's sake, I'm over in Cardiff here. All my family have come over, all my mates like from Wales are here, and it's the 79th minute, and this bollocks isn't even putting me on. We're
yeah.
losing, do you know what I mean? I'm like, bring me on. So eventually, then it's like 70 minutes and 30 seconds,
Wow.
79 minutes and 30 seconds, and I get this, Tommy, you're on. And I was like, oh, fuck, jeez, right, thanks.
Yeah.
So I think I got on at about 79 minutes and 42 seconds, right?
Wow.
Literally the ball got kicked off. And I ended up getting the ball, came around the corner, and Jamie Roberts tackled me, right? And somebody else landed on top of me, and I just felt this crack. I heard it, and I dropped the ball, and it was like whistle went, knock on, Wales ball, and next thing you know, I'm there lying, and all these like pile of people get off, and I said, Wayne, it was Wayne Barnes, said, Wayne, I think I've broken my leg, and he goes, I didn't even know you were on.
Cheers, Barnsey.
I'd literally,
He probably
so
penalised you.
I was on the pitch for 14 seconds. Literally
Wow.
14 seconds I got on the pitch for. And they hadn't even like got up to hold up the announcement that
Yeah.
replacing such and such is
Yeah.
Tommy Bowe, right? So I was there literally just on the pitch 14 seconds, got the ball, tackled, Jamie Roberts landed me, broke my leg. And I was like, I think I've broken my leg. And he said, so of course the same trolley came on with the
It
same three medical staff.
No
And
way.
yeah,
The
same
complete
three,
deja vu.
same doctors. And literally, I was on this trolley and I was coming off. And I just thought to myself, like, I have worked so
Yeah.
hard to get back to this team again. And isn't this just typical? And
Yeah.
like, literally, the people talked to me about how I smiled. And you could see I was on the big screen. And I wasn't looking, I was just thinking to myself. And I just smiled. As like, just if you didn't laugh, you'd cry. And I
Th-
thought,
There's the
full
moment of it.
bit of a full circle moment that just this is it. And I knew that was the end of my international career. I knew I
Wow.
wouldn't be back. Knew I would never
Wow.
play for Ireland again. And I
Well,
thought, like, there you go.
that's
There you
mad
have
that
it.
you know it in that moment, isn't it? Because you knew the work that went in. Like, and to be fair, Tommy, you didn't pick up small injuries, man. Every one of them is career ending in itself. The fact that you were actually even able to play after any of them is quite remarkable. But
They're nasty. Like coming back from an injury like that's so hard.
yeah, it
Mentally,
is.
mentally. I remember
But
one time, right, Donncha, we used to go to these I used to listen to because there'd be days I'd be just down in the dumps. Like you're
yeah,
just
yeah,
like, am I ever? And the coaches are kind of there. Particularly that time I was out for 11 months because there were times there where it just didn't seem like it was ever getting better. It was two
yeah.
steps forward, three steps back at stages. And I used to listen to these motivational podcasts or motivational like YouTube videos. You know, it's like Arnold
Brilliant.
Schwarzenegger and all
Yeah,
these
yeah.
people like kind of giving these
The
like,
Rock.
do not give up. Yeah, exactly. Show them who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the Mulligan Bros or whatever else have these on, and I'd be listening and I'd be there, fucking come on, I'm gonna do it. And I remember like I was really down the dumps and I was like, this, am I ever gonna get back playing? And I remember listening to this YouTube video and it was like about resolve and perseverance and don't giving up. So I was like, right,
Yeah,
okay. And
I'm on it.
I was going off to go get myself a coffee just to try and get away from the training venue for a bit. So I listened to it. I was pumped. I got out of the car. I went over and I just went to this coffee shop and I stood there in the queue. And then this fella goes, Tommy Bowe, have you retired then? Have you? And I was like, for fuck's sake.
40
I
minutes.
thought you'd retired. What are you wearing the Ulster tracksuit for?
But you know what?
Oh, right
I,
back
I think
down.
that's such an interesting point, and it's probably something I learned as a player when I was dealing with injured players. And I do actually think I've carried it into life. You know, if someone's wearing a leg brace, or you know what I mean,
Mm.
it's the easy one. But I'll never forget Jory Flannery had real problem with his calves, and I
Yeah.
think it was a few different injuries. But I remember Fla at one point just grabbing a few of us and saying, "Lads, I know you mean it with all the fucking love. You know what I mean, that you're checking in on me. But please, man, all I'm doing is reaffirming a negative all the time when I talk to you about my injury. So chat
Yeah.
to me about anything else bar
Yeah.
this, because I
Yeah.
want to stay positive. I want to stay on it." Now he didn't have some flute over in the coffee shop giving it the "Hey Fly,
Have you not retired yet?
haven't you gone very small?"
Oh man, honestly, he used to. But listen,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
highs and lows of what you had to do, and that's exactly right. That
yeah,
like I'm still one of the boys here. I'm still one of the team.
yeah.
Like, don't forget that. Like, I will be back and I will be playing. And I know you're trying to be sound by asking how it's going. But I
Of
actually
course.
remember that the most with Stephen Ferris. Ferris, like, was at the peak of his powers, and he got lifted in a line out and got dropped. And literally at this stage, Decky wanted him to play for Ireland, and
Everyone fucking wanted him to play for Ireland. That
but
fella was a wrecking ball, man.
he'd been out injured, right? And it was the start of the November internationals, and Decky was Argentina, like, first international up, and it was next week. So Decky kind of said to Stephen, right, it was the week before, he said, listen, it's Irish training camp this week. We're gonna rest you this weekend because you haven't played in so long. We want to have you right for next week. And Stevie was like, oh, Decky, you know, I just want to get a bit of game time. Can I just get even 20 minutes this weekend just so I
No,
can get a feel for it? And Decky was kind of, oh, I don't know, Stephen. I'd prefer, I think a good week's training down here in Dublin and a good week's training leading into Argentina would be better for you. But Stevie was just like, fucking man, I need to play. I
yeah,
need to
yeah.
get just that under my belt. So he said, okay, right. Contacted Ulster, said he's available to play, but only for a half. Anyway, Stevie comes on, and maybe he started, and they literally threw him up in a line out,
Oh, I
and he
remember it.
landed on someone's ankle, and then
Yeah,
his twist his ankle, and that was pretty much him. And that was, I think he played one or two matches after, like, but I'll never
man,
forget.
he limped around as well for the rest of
Oh,
that. You know what I mean? You could
oh,
see he knew,
horrendous.
I need to just get out here, man. Oh, it was unbelievably.
I remember sitting beside him on the bike one day, just one morning, and he was on the bike, just kind of spinning out his ankle, and I just jumped on it beside him, again, a bit like you said, you're just trying to be sound and just kind of ask, how are you getting on, and when he just pretty much broke down, he
Yeah, which would
it's not getting better,
it
and I
would take a
mean,
lot, wouldn't it?
ah,
When you know
broke
the
your
type of man
heart,
he is too.
broke, and it,
We need to do dressing room on Fez one time. Stephen Ferris, what a remarkable character. Just
oh
the
yeah,
whatever about the wrecking ball on the pitch. Just like the only athlete I've seen like it is the kind of David Wallace, isn't it?
oh,
But at least Wally knew what 70% was in training, whereas Fez had fucking no regard. And he was always on, man. He was dangerous. You were like, please be in the team, because if I'm going against him, I'm dead.
One
Yeah.
time we were training with Ulster, and he was only like a young fella coming through, and it was it was unopposed. It was 15v15, no tackles, just like hands on type thing, and a ball came down off the line out and to the out half, and the out half kind of gave it back inside to me into that gap, right? But Stevie'd obviously missed the jump, so was trying to catch up. He fucking cleaned me out of it. In a walkthrough, like in a
Yeah.
walkthrough. And Mark McCall, who was coach at the time, obviously a Saracens now, he just goes, "Get the fuck off!" Like, just
The horse.
ordered him, a
The first.
horse, yeah.
Yeah.
So Stevie literally had to leave and walk off the pitch and go into the dressing room.
I
He's
love
only
it.
a young fella.
Yeah,
Funny.
let's save Fez, because there's brilliant
Okay.
stories about him. What a man! What a
Good stuff.
brilliant guy!
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he'd be a great man to tell us the stories about injuries and everything else. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
no, it's tough time, but
tough time.
it is
He,
fascinating. You're a lucky man that you didn't have to deal with too
no,
many injuries.
but I do think that is the difference in it. Like second row is more kind of slow twitch. Like you were fast car stuff. I was
Mhm.
bangs, bumping, knocking off things.
Yeah, yeah.
Reason I say, and we'll wrap it here, just DuPont at the weekend, playing against Saracens.
Saracens.
Yeah, what did you with that Saracens match with DuPont when he wore the leggings? He gets a tough time that he's never really kind of brought it in New Zealand, But I noticed he's just back from an injury yet. We haven't seen him hit his straps. You know what
And
I
he's
mean?
been unbelievable for Toulouse.
Yeah, yeah,
Honestly,
but
I've seen him playing in a few clips of him in the top 14. He
the,
is
it,
class.
Tommy, this is what the Kiwis say, man. But like, was he in the Stone X, man? You know what I mean? Fucking Superman every time when he tugs out in the big stadiums in France, all
Ah,
that stuff. But
you
can he go
watch
on the
now.
road?
You watch, man. Away from home.
Yeah,
I have seen him rip teams apart away
yeah,
from home.
yeah. But you've probably seen him in, like, you know what I mean? Where? Like, you know what I mean? Murrayfield. Is that really that much of a track? You know what I mean?
Well, why,
I'm just leaving you
where?
know what the Kiwis think. I don't want to take away that he's
Fuck the
can super
Kiwis.
talent.
Just because
New Zealanders
he
New
didn't
Zealanders
play.
feel he's never brought it down there. He's never brought it in South Africa. He's never brought it in Australia.
Have
He,
France played against New Zealand or South Africa
yeah,
down
but
there where he is playing?
no, this was the big shift fight because remember they sent what was believed to be their seconds, which
Yeah.
actually pushed them really close, and that's
Yeah.
where this whole argument took place.
And to be like, I understand that. Like, you want, like, listen, that would really piss me off if, for instance, RD Sevilla or the best player, like say Dan Carter was playing for New Zealand, and
Yeah,
New Zealand were coming up in the north to play in the Northern Hemisphere for the Autumn Internationals, and
and you
Dan
don't see
Carter was
him.
left behind to rest. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
would be fed up. So yeah,
yeah.
I can understand where they're come. It's a bit of a gripe. It's like, yeah, he's a brilliant player, but he's
We've
too
not seen
cool
it.
or he's too good that he's not even come down here. I
Yeah.
still don't think there's any question marks about how good he is, and I do think he's been pretty amazing, even since coming back from Toulouse. And where do you see him come Six Nations now? I think with
Oh,
France and him back on board, hopefully it takes him a week or two to get
that's what
into
I'm
it.
hoping for. Just get over the first Thursday night. Hopefully, he
Yeah.
doesn't play well on Thursday nights at home.
Go on. Right. Listen,
Good
we'll
on you.
talk about DuPont again. Donncha, we'll catch you on Friday.
Go well, Tommy. Enjoyed it.